I don't know if you caught what Pam Bondi said at the congressional hearing, but it raised up my radars. It sounded like a thinly veiled threat. And I started thinking about it, and I thought, well, if we start poking around too much and trying to bring justice to some of these elites, Lewis, just remember the U.S. economy is rigged up to a kill switch. When asked the question about the Epstein situation, I can't remember which question exactly, but she totally deflected, switched the topic and said the Dow is over 50,000, the S&P is at 7K. Why are you laughing? I'll tell you why they're laughing, Pam, because it's like asking a doctor why your leg is falling off and him responding, well, the hospital stock is up, so keep your chin up, Stumpy. But here's the thing, guys, it's not just a deflection. To anyone with a detective's nose for how this game is played, it basically sounded like a veiled threat. It was a national security wink. She's essentially saying, hey, look at this beautiful, fragile digital bubble we've built for your retirement. You want to keep peeling back those layers? You want to shine a light on the guys who actually move the money in the system? Well, go ahead. But don't be surprised if the whole S&P 500 goes poof the second you hit the wrong name. It's the ultimate too big to fail insurance policy. They've tied the dark secrets of the elite to your 401k. They're telling us that the price of financial stability is moral bankruptcy. They've got the economy on a leash, and they're letting us know that if we try to put the right people in handcuffs, they'll just pull the plug on the whole banking system. And look, guys, we've all been told the same bullshit story since we got our first piggy bank. Put your money in the bank. It's safe there. Well, newsflash, no it's not. The second you hand that teller your paycheck, it's not your money anymore. Legally, what you've done is just given the bank an unsecured loan. You're a creditor. You're the guy at the end of the line at a buffet that just ran out of shrimp. And here's why it gets Epstein. We've been watching the slow motion car crash of the files for years. Names dropping like flies or not dropping at all. And you wonder, why hasn't the hammer fallen? I'll tell you why. It's because the people in those files aren't just adjacent to the banking system. They are the foundation, the plumbing, electrical system. They're the whole shebang. They're the ones who decide which billionaire gets a margin call and which one gets a pass. These people have the ultimate insurance policy. It's called systemic collapse. It's the break glass in case a pedophile scandal box. Think about it. If you're a high-level predator or a money launderer and the DOJ is finally sniffing around your digital footprints, what's the best way to lose the dogs? Well, you blow up the whole neighborhood. In a digital world, a banking collapse isn't just a financial disaster. It's basically a giant delete key. When the system starts to melt down, the government doesn't care who was on a private jet in 2005. They care about making sure the ATM doesn't stop spitting out 20s, because if it does, the peasants, they rise up and they start sharpening their pitchforks. The regulators go to these banks and say, we need to see the ledgers. And the bank says, oh, you mean the ledgers that just got corrupted during the liquidity crisis? Sorry. We were too busy trying not to cause a global depression to worry about your subpoenas. It's the fog of war, but with spreadsheets. And let's talk about the bail-in. This is the new favorite word for the elites. A bailout, which is the old way of doing things, is basically when the government uses your taxes to save the bank. A bail-in, that's the new thing, is when the bank just takes your deposits to save itself. They turn your cash into bank equity. That's like someone stealing your car and giving you a picture of the steering wheel in return. So the powerful stay powerful. Their wealth is in land, gold, and favors, and things that don't disappear when the power goes out. Your wealth is basically a bunch of glowing pixels on an app that says server error. That's the ultimate leverage, and it's not a secret tape. It's a threat that if I go down, the bank goes down, and if the bank goes down, everybody goes down. It's the most sophisticated hostage situation in history. They aren't just too big to jail, they're too toxic to touch. And I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. We're living in a world right now where the ledger is written in disappearing ink. And the other guys holding the pen, they're the ones we're trying to catch. So next time you see a banking glitch on the news right as a major scandal hits the fan, maybe go check your mattress, because at least the mattress doesn't have a conflict of interest. If your bank can use your money to bribe people, investigating them for crimes they've committed with your money, you don't live in a democracy. You live in a casino where the house can literally set the building on fire to avoid paying out. And guess what? You're the one stuck with the bag. And look, we've already established that your money in the bank isn't yours. It's an IOU written on a napkin by a guy who's currently betting your rent money on a sure thing in the Cayman Islands. But now, the geniuses in Washington and the World Economic Forum want to take things a step further. They want to turn your money into software. They're calling it CBDC, and it sounds like a brand new cannabinoid that helps you sleep, but it's actually a nightmare that keeps everyone awake. It's programmable money, and you know who loves programming things? People who want to control the outcome. Imagine if your money had an expiration date. Oh, I see you didn't spend your stimulus check on a government-approved good by Tuesday. Poof, it's gone. Or better yet, I see you've reached your monthly limit on ribeye steaks and politically incorrect comedy specials. Your card is now only valid for kale and PBS. And here's the kicker. The banking system is a mess. It's held together by duct tape, prayer, and the fact that we all collectively agree not to look too closely at the basement. But for the people in those Epstein files, the ones with the real dirty laundry, a digital currency isn't a threat. It's the ultimate laundromat. Think about it. In the old days, if you wanted to hide a scandal, you had to burn the warehouse full of paper records. Very dramatic stuff there. Very 1970s. But in 2026, if the system is entirely digital and centrally controlled, a banking collapse isn't a disaster. It's a system restore. When the digital ledger glitches during a systemic meltdown, those sensitive transactions, the ones linking billionaire X to island Y, don't just get lost. They get overwritten by the new code. It's the ultimate get out of jail free card because the jail itself just turned into a PDF that no one can open. The elites want you to think digital is safer. It's more efficient, they say. Yeah, so is a guillotine. But I don't want one in my backyard. They want a system where they can see everything you do while they operate in dark mode or on the back end code. It's a one-way mirror where they're holding the flashlight and you're standing there in your underwear. So here's the new rule. If your money is digital and the bank is digital and the scandal is digital, you better make sure your survival is analog. Keep some cash, keep some gold, and for God's sake, keep a paper copy of your bank statement, because when the Great Reset hits the bank and the bank tells you your balance is zero because of a server migration, the only thing that's going to be real is the look on your face when you realize you've been programmed right out of your own life. And that's it, folks.